Alrighty, YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down? Welcome back to another video. So we have some updates on Brandon Aiyuk, of course. Ian Rappaport of NFL Network reported yesterday that the 49ers are expected to address the Brandon Aiyuk contract situation after free agency. So they are obviously interested in re-signing and keeping Brandon Aiyuk around. Obviously, the 49ers kind of have a tendency to sign their star players later rather than sooner. In recent memory, obviously, Deebo Samuel was signed later on in the offseason. Nick Bosa, that contract situation, drug out all the way until the Friday before opening day just this past season. Now, for Brandon Aiyuk, obviously, John Lynch was asked about, Brandon Aiyuk was asked about, him staying with the 49ers and re-signing with the 49ers after the Super Bowl. And he did respond, if that's the right move, then yes. So kind of like a short answer, right? Like, Brandon Aiyuk wants paid, as he should be, or as he should want. And there has been reports that, obviously, Brandon Aiyuk would like to stay with the 49ers for the right price. Obviously, John Lynch, Kyle, those guys want him to stick around, and they want to get a deal done for Brandon Aiyuk. Obviously, and then, shortly following the Super Bowl, some of Brandon Aiyuk's, some of his people in his inner circle expressed their, sentiments after the Niners lost the Super Bowl. Brandon Aiyuk's girlfriend shared a TikTok that mentioned, this might be the last day we touch foot on Levi's Stadium because we might not be here next season. Another member of Brandon Aiyuk's inner circle, Drayshawn Hudson, criticized the game plan for not featuring Brandon Aiyuk more in the Super Bowl. He also went on to say, this is the exact reason why we are leaving San Francisco. So it seems like his girlfriend and, his best friend or, his brother, whoever that was, seems like, they were obviously upset just given how the Super Bowl went and whatnot, and Brandon Aiyuk not really being involved too much in the Super Bowl. And it wasn't even that he wasn't involved. Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel both were locked up all game. They did not play well at all. They actually performed pretty badly, in my opinion. I thought Brandon Aiyuk was okay, and Deebo Samuel was very underwhelming. But obviously, this last season, Brandon Aiyuk had 75 catches, for a team-leading 1,342 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. It marked his second consecutive season surpassing 1,000 receiving yards. And again, Ian Rappaport added when he spoke yesterday about this, he said the 49ers firmly believe that he is in their plans. I would expect them to get to work on a new deal for him, probably after free agency. John Lynch discussed, the Niners' stance on an extension for Brandon Aiyuk during his media availability last week at the NFL Combine. He said, we have some challenges. We have a lot of good players who've, we have rewarded. Brandon's one that we think incredibly high of, one of my favorite guys in our building. The way he approaches the game, he's a competitor, he's a warrior, he plays with such physicality, also with grace, in the way some of the positions his body can get into. So he then went on to say, and then, he's got a flair for making plays when they matter most, and he served us very well as a franchise. I think we've got a nice track record of extending the players that are important to us, and Brandon's the guy we want to keep around for a long time. So Brandon Aiyuk's current market value, at an average annual salary is well over $24 million. So obviously with the salary cap increasing this year, that really helped the 49ers' case to re-sign him this year. To me, it seems like all signs are pointing towards the 49ers getting a deal done with Brandon Aiyuk. I don't know why he wouldn't be re-signed unless he's just demanding way too much money for the Niners. I don't see a situation in which he isn't re-signed. I mean, again, Brandon Aiyuk's a guy that built a very, very good relationship with Brock Purdy this year. They built a very good connection, and I think that showed, early on in the season, and then, all the way really until the end of the season, especially in the playoffs and whatnot. So I don't think the 49ers will screw this up. Again, I definitely think if there's any situation where Brandon Aiyuk leaves, it's probably going to be because he's simply demanding too much money for the Niners. And I think if he's demanding too much money and he leaves, obviously there's probably a team out there that will end up paying him. But to me, man, like, all signs point towards Brandon Aiyuk being back. I would be shocked if he wasn't re-signed, especially given the situation with the salary cap increasing and whatnot. So obviously something, to keep an eye out on, following free agency and whatnot, and kind of getting into June and July months. So hopefully this is something that the Niners get done soon, and it's something that they don't kind of drag out throughout the entire offseason and kind of make us fans worried and whatnot. But we'll see what happens, of course. I'll keep you guys updated on the situation. I mean, obviously, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys think Brandon Aiyuk will be re-signed? Do you think that the Niners will end up trading him? Obviously, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. But as always, go Niners. I'll see you guys in the next one.